Okay. All right, so my intuition is leading me to start already. I knew it was important for me to get to this hill. I'll show you the surroundings. There's the sun, of course. You know her or him. This beautiful light being of love. So I haven't taught on here for a while, so I was sort of excited that I get to teach today. I was kind of reflecting. I wonder why I wasn't teaching directly in the past few weeks, except for on 11/11 I did, not to date this, but a while ago I did 5 hours straight, 5 days in a row, 1 hour each day. And then it was almost an hour a day to do that guitar thing 10 times a day. To video it, it was more than an hour to video it and upload and all that stuff. And then I've been designing an online class, and there's people in it now already. And we're having a great time. We're going through the power of now, and I'm teaching 4 hours of video for each chapter. So far we're only going to go through chapter 1, 2, and 3. So I've been making those videos. But I never go this way since I moved. I don't know if any of you guys know when I moved, but anyway, I was led to go this way today, and it's a mile up. So but let's just start with I had something that came to me the other day. Oh, look how pretty it is. And there's Hello Kitty. I'm like, the pink. Anyway, and then someone texted me a question today, and I didn't want to text back 4 pages, so I was like, oh, I'll add that to our video. It felt like the right place to talk about it, because if it comes to me, it's usually in the collective as well. So, hi. What was coming to me was that okay. If you think of if you wanted to be on a pro basketball team or a pro soccer team or baseball team, American soccer, football, you know, something like that. And you trained like all your childhood in a way, and it was your passion and you loved it, but you were called to it and you followed that calling, and people were like, hey, let's just go out partying or whatever. Not that you're not meant to party in life, because you're meant to be joyous for sure, you know. When I'm here in nature, or when I'm roller skating or playing, it feels like a party all the time. So, you probably know I'm not against enjoying life, but, you know, there's choices that we make, and our choices affect our life. And, you know, I teach and I practice as best I can in each moment, you know, wherever I am, to keep being in the now, to follow my intuition, to listen, to yield, to when my logical brain starts coming in and going, oh, that's stupid, why would you do that? You know, I let go of that and just keep following where I feel called to go. So let's say you got on this team, but for some reason, let's say you were going to be the pitcher. This is what kept coming to my mind, is the pitcher of a baseball team, and someone they deemed better than you at pitching, right? So you're second pitcher, whatever it's called. And so you have to be just as physically fit, just as ready, just as practiced, just as, ready for the tension and the build-up and the, bases are loaded. There's 2 strikes out and you gotta get the next guy out, that's coming up to bat on the other team. This is us. This is what the message was that I was getting so strongly within myself and from other people. I intuitively get videos as well. And I know some of you are following me on Twitter. If you follow me, I'm usually putting the most random videos out there. They seem random, but they're informing me. And I don't put all of them out, but there's one that Akiana Krameric did. She's the one that when she was 8, she painted that giant painting of Jesus when she got a vision. And she was on Oprah and stuff. She got a vision of heaven as well. I wondered how I would get up this mountain, without it being monotonous. Because I got this impression to come to this mountain and then I would be shown where to do the video. And it was right now. And I was oh gosh, I just get an impression in my heart. I can teach more on that if you guys would like. But it is like a muscle. The more you respond, the more in tune you get. If it's just something inside you. There was something in me before that was accusing me of all this old stuff. I'm I've already forgive me for that, And I sat and observed it. I'm why is this coming up, Right before I'm about to teach, this will crush me down and I will not be able to be present with you guys because I would be preoccupied with, things I've done wrong. And it's a similar storyline to my childhood. It's nothing was ever good enough for my own dad and in his life growing up, blah, blah, blah. I would go into that. But it was because I got a text right before that of someone pushing a boundary. And I felt I needed to respect myself and defend this boundary. It's a different person texting, right? Someone related. And that's why I got in that defensive mode where I was accusing myself, because I shifted from this just aware consciousness in nature, enjoying and being here without an agenda, knowing I would come to this place, but not knowing what would happen between where I started and here. And I got to observe that. Sometimes I have my phone off while I'm hiking, oftentimes. But anyway, that's what got me in that defensive place, and then that's what got me judging myself. And so I just said a prayer, okay, well, help me resolve that thing in a different way instead of getting defensive. How to keep a boundary without, oh, I said you need to respect me, blah, 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 But back to the team, right? Imagine, ooh, is there a ray of the sun? That is, right? Yeah, I love it. Look, there's a ray of the sun. I can't see it with my eyes, but it's in the camera right there. A ray in the sun, a stick, a stone, it's the end of the road, it's a little alone. I was thinking of that song this morning. It's one of my favorites, The Waters of March. Anyway, you are on this team. You are on the team. You are. It doesn't matter if you're first pitcher or second pitcher or third pitcher. I was even thinking how, you know, the pitcher could be out there in a stressful situation type thing, you know, where bases are loaded and everything's depending on him, and maybe it's the championship game or something like this. And even him knowing, because it's a guy for baseball, usually I haven't seen women, well, not pro teams, but maybe there are. If there are, I'm so sad. Sorry that I don't know. I know softball, yeah. But anyway, and the Olympics softball. But go women. This is just the example that was coming, a generalized example is like, even that guy, right? If he knows, hey, I know how well the second pitcher has trained, and he's been here every moment and every practice game, and he's really good, you know, and if anything happens to me, I know he's going to do a great job. Even him knowing that will help him relax, possibly, and get into that Zen place and just give it his all, you know, throw that ball, get that person out, you know. Everyone's cheering in the stages, right? In the, what's it called? In the stadium. In the stadium, they're all, you know, gosh, that guy hauled it. He's up. He's up there. But I didn't want to walk that fast and be like, oh, I like this pace with you guys. Anyway, you see how it mattered. It mattered a lot how much you practice as the second pitcher, even as the third one, you know? What if the first pitcher gets drafted somewhere else, gets picked for a different team, and you're up, you're first now, you know? This is what I think about our spiritual path. This is what was shown to me about our spiritual path. It's not about what I think. It was shown to me in vision. Is you're meant to take your spiritual path. I'm not going to tell you what you're meant to do. I'm meant to take my spiritual path seriously and not be like, okay, I'm going to buy 12 different holy scriptures of 12 different religions and sit down, be really serious, you know. That might be what I'm called to do. Look at this. It goes down a little before it goes up, the rest of the mile up. We have little breaks, a respite, you know, but it doesn't mean stop there, you know. Your spiritual path is important. So this is the question my friend was asking in the text this morning, was like, what do you do when you get an intuitive call to something and your friends advise you otherwise? You know, do they counsel you otherwise? And you guys know I've been doing this, well, I mean, my whole life in a lot of ways, but more passionately and really yielding a lot more in the last year. Out of like, sort of like a have to. It wasn't a have to. It's never a have to. It's always a free choice. But I was in so much pain holding on to, I don't know, holding on to lies that I thought I had to be in lack, or I thought I had to make do with scraps, or that I didn't deserve more than what my parents showed me by their lack of consciousness. But I knew there was more consciousness, you know. It drives a lot of people to feel suicidal because of the way I was taught, is that, you know, you'll get all this high consciousness when you go to heaven. You'll feel loved when you go to heaven. Jesus loves you, you know, and it's like, well, I'm going to Jesus now. You know, that was what came in my mind as a solution before, because no one was giving me a different solution. And I don't think that Elliot died of suicide. I don't think that. But I know that when you're on this path, you have to face death every day. You have to face a kind of death to your outer egotism. That's what he's singing about in so many of his songs, you know. I'm tired of dancing on a pot of gold, flaked paint. Stupidity tries. Anyway, I know there's death in those, but before I thought of him though as if he's going to be the patron saint of anyone, it's going to be patron saint of the depressed and suicidal, you know. But I know this feeling, and I haven't talked as directly about it before. I don't want to like add to anyone's pain body, because then you could be identified with, oh, I was this, you know. It's not something to be ashamed of, but not something to wrap your identity around. Just for me, I wasn't planning on talking about this. It's what happens when you're not following your intuition. Your logical mind will give you, okay, here's what was happening on this path today, right? It's totally related. I kept hearing these noises and it sounded like deer. I was like, oh, I do have this feeling I'll run into deer today, but I wonder if that's them already, you know? Maybe I won't. See, getting hot in the hat. And so I can have an open mind about the deer, like whether I see them or not. It's okay. My life doesn't feel like it's going to be significantly different, you know, but if your life feels like it's dependent on it, like what? I'm going to be on TV. I'm going to be playing baseball today, first pitcher, because this other pitcher got sick or something, you know, and it's like really in the scope of all the universe and all the galaxies. And if people have lifetime after lifetime or not or whatever, it's not that significant of a thing, but it's really amazing that you spent your life training for that. And it is significant on that hand. And so who knows what me seeing a deer right now, like, would make a difference. But if I got this knowing that I might see one today, and then I kept hearing, and then I started thinking in my logical brain, oh, let's go where last time I saw the deer. Let's go there. Let's go there. And I knew that I was meant to go here to teach today. Or maybe the timing will mess up. Someone will call me and I'll have some obligation that comes up that would make it so that I wouldn't have time to teach today had I gone looking for a deer on that other path. Instead, let it come to me. And that's my intuition, like the wind is starting to blow right now. My intuition leads me differently, you know? Because, okay, so back to the person's question. Your friends will often counsel you from their logical mind, or they could get an intuitive something that they're meant to convey to you. And it's great to hear that, and then still go in and discern, learn how to discern. But you don't learn how to discern by me going, okay, where did I see the last deer? How can I go find them? I'm gonna go find the deer. Like, deer are like, they're wild animals, you know? That's probably why the example came up, because they're not ones to go and find that way per se. I mean, maybe if you're like a wilderness person. Okay, hi. Oh, I love seeing the women out here. Woman mountain biker. Anyway, oh, it's so pretty. So if I had my drawing with me, I'd show you the Van Gogh drawing I did. Like, literally, look, when I draw stick figures. Here, yay! You know, here's a heart. I love you. But when some lady wrote a book called How to Draw Using the Right Side of Your Brain, she found, or I don't know how she found, that maybe because Da Vinci would draw everything backwards or whatever, like, you know, some of his notebooks, I don't know, but that when you turn your notebook upside down, I had a Van Gogh drawing and I turned it upside down, and I turned my sketch pad upside down and I started looking at the lines of Van Gogh's, and I drew what I was seeing instead of naming it. Oh, I'm drawing a finger, I'm drawing a handkerchief. When I did that and turned it back around, I was amazed. It looked just like Van Gogh's. I think it's on another video of mine, or I think it's on, I know it's on my webpage somewhere. Maybe I'll add it to Awakening Intuition. I'll just put it in the photos so you can always find it. That's Facebook, Awakening Intuition, Dr. Cheryl. I think that's all it is. Yeah, DrCheryl. Anyway, when I draw what my mind's telling me to draw, it has a fixed idea. When I look for a deer that way, I don't find it. So, your friends can be well-intentioned, and it's important to seek wise counsel for sure. But for me, I like seeking wise counsel from people who are intelligent, but who also yield to spirit, to intuition, to their higher soul selves, and aren't swayed by everyday things. They're disciplined, and not disciplined in a, oh, I'm going to feel like I'm more religious because I do this discipline. Disciplined because they know it takes discipline to be good on your team. To be on the best team in the world, like, I'm going to be disciplined. This is why I'm like, you can't really see me, but, you know, I do yoga like 6 days a week, and I hike. And as long as I have, you know, working arms and legs, and I don't want to make excuses, I choose to do this. You know, and I roller skate and I play the guitar, and all these things to other people might give me counsel, like, what are you doing with your life? You ought to be doing this, this, and this, and have 1,000 other things that they think I ought to be doing. But I'm making my body prepared. And not out of fear. Out of respect. I have respect for the high calling that something divine, divine love has called me to something. And whether I'm doing it now already, you know I am already. Or later on, I'll do it in a, quote, bigger way. And I'm being prepared for that. It doesn't matter. A high standard of discipline and a high standard of imagination. That's so funny. That's what came to me. It's just like, you know, when I'm in my intuition is what tells me, look at that. Look, that's the road we just came up. It goes all the way down. You can't see the bottom right here. Maybe when we get to the top, but my intuition gave me that example of the best baseball team. Wouldn't you feel like in this world, you know, in our egotism or whatever, even if not, I don't know, like if you got on the best baseball team in the world, or you got the Olympic medal, you know, for swimming or something, or for whatever, that you know you worked so hard to get there. And it's such a privilege to be on that team or in that place, in that moment, you know. Wake up your imagination and let your intuition give you these symbols and examples to show you that this isn't stupid to have a spiritual path and be committed to it. I thought I saw a hawk. It's like a boxer who's ready to go in the ring, a gymnast who's ready to perform the gymnastic, you know, I used to could do a back flip with a full twist. And that's what is coming, the muscle memory was coming to me yesterday when I was skating, roller skating. I remembered going up in the air and doing a full twist and then landing in a back flip. And it was so fun that I had practiced all that before, because then I didn't think I would do spins yesterday, but at the end of the video, I started doing spins and I didn't even know I could do them. I was just filming for you guys, or just because I wanted to share the fun of all of that. There's fun on this path. It's so fun, you know? I was gonna say sometimes it's lonely, but I think that's, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. It's more lonely being dead right now, you know? If I was, or it's more lonely when you're pretending to be close to people that you're not. I know that feeling as well. I'd rather keep learning how to be close to myself and to the divine and to the Lord of the Rings, Tolkien's audiobook. I have listened some, but you know, I mean, and to you guys and to the people that are crossing my path. They're amazing, amazing, like people that share this same passion and dedication. Look, there's a hawk. Did I get it? Maybe I'll come back. Maybe that one's a crow. Yeah, that's a crow, I think. Anyway, I was watching a video the other day, and they said the guy was like, never lower your standards, never. And he gave this example of like someone offering him $10,000 to do this promotional thing, and he's like, nah, I'm not going to do that. It doesn't align with, you know, what he's teaching about. Hello, Brother Crow. Look, he came back. It's the same one. And so then they offered him $20,000 to do the same thing. And then I think they went up to 40 or 80 or something, you know? And he's like, see, if he hadn't had that standard, they wouldn't have offered him that. They wouldn't have risen up to see that he thinks and he knows that he is worth that. And that's what his time is worth, you know? And not to sell out for any kind of product, because that's lame. Well, I mean, I'm not going to judge. So don't lower your standards, because the world tells us to lower our standards for anything. Like, if I'm just like, oh, I don't want to wear pink in my clothes, that's different. That's like a preference. That's not a standard, you know? If someone says, you know, roll down this hill while cussing everybody out that's here, you know, I'm not going to do that, because just not how I choose to treat people, you know? But another thing was coming to mind with that, and then I feel like I'll wrap this up, is, you know, I was with someone and they were conveying the same idea. Okay, I'm going to try to say this without saying what it's about. Oh, look, there's the hill. There's the crow again. But, look, I don't know if you can see the bottom. What is that song? That's funny. Just raised my hand up, and it's like that song. Don't you forget about me. And he's like this. Don't. Anyway, oh good. These people just left the next place where we can see the ocean. So you're about to see. Hi. So this person was saying, I just look like I'm on FaceTime, but it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter what it looks like. It don't care about what other people think if you're doing what your soul is calling you to do. It just gets in the way. It makes you contracted instead of expansive. So someone was saying, well, we do this certain thing because this is what protects other people. And I'm like, what if you're not protecting other people by teaching them not to listen to their intuition? If something's not a law, and even if it is a law, if it's an unjust law, but I'm not going to get into that because I know, but I'm not going to go start triggering people in that way. But if people keep shaming you to do something and they say you're protecting other people to do this, are you protecting them by teaching them to just follow orders and not know their intuition and not listen and not yield to something that's higher, that doesn't tell them to just follow what certain paid for entities will say, to see how much we'll yield and bend over. And oh, that's the guy that I always see on the trail. That's so awesome. I went out of the way. Hi. I always see you. I appreciate you're on the trail. See, I ought not to have gone in the bushes. I was trying to avoid people so I could just finish this up, but that's someone I was meant to see. I love him. I love him. Look, there's the ocean. So, okay, so, that's so great. He's back there. So, are you really protecting other people when maybe we need sunlight and we need to be out in the sun on these trails, listening to our intuition, hearing your inner calling? I don't know. I can't speak for everybody else. I don't want to shame people that don't see this, and I don't want to shame the people that do. And that's what happens, is when you start judging other people, then you're in judgment and it shuts down your own intuition. And so people can be judging me because I'm not doing a certain thing that they think I'm not protecting other people. And I think they're not protecting other people, you know, by teaching them to just mindlessly be yielding, you know, heartlessly, not mindlessly, because we want to get out of our mind. So just be present with whatever you are, if you'd like. That's what's helped me. All right, I'm at the view, so I wish you guys love.